know.
Secrets unfold, true crime stories, let the intrigue be told. Grab a seat, get cozy, let's dive into the plot. With Mac J by my side, there's so much to be sought. Mods from the stars, they light up the night. Chillin' with Van, everything feels just right. Welcome to the mystery, the thrill, the thrill we embrace. Solving cases together we'll trace. With Tabby and Maggie, the journey's begun. With laughter and stories, we'll shine like the sun. Sun. Spirit time vibes with Lisa and Mark. Tia and Mel igniting the spark. According to Lean, curiosity flows. A curious rose in a garden of woes. Sweet misery whispers, tales that enthrall. While Matt, Meg, and Jody, we gather them all. Welcome to the mystery, the thrill we embrace. Solving cases together we'll trace. With Tabby and Maggie, the journey's begun. With laughter and stories, we'll shine like the sun. Sun. So come along, join the fun tonight. In Aussie true crime, everything feels so right.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome in.
Hello, everyone.
We've got beautiful Jody in the house. And Megan, how are you, my darling? Kitty Witty, haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Focus. Being naughty again, I see. With a $5 super chat. And I've got something special tonight for that. I was just showing Mac J.
Oh, I know the one. So cute.
Beautiful babies. We need answers and we need these babies home. Both of them.
We do.
All right. Now, I'm sorry this case has taken me so long to cover, but me and Mac J, as we were just saying, there is so much to it, and I found there's so many different stories to this case. So we've tried to cipher through and get what has happened. Where it's going to go, I don't know, because this case has baffled me. But to start, I'm going to play our little tribute video for him.
Painted grave, search for the light. Little Gus Lamont lost out of sight. Found in the whispers of the night's gentle breeze. We pray for a miracle, a soul to appease. Oh, beat in unison. Together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Each minute that passes feels like an eternity. Hope flickers low in our hearts deep sea. Australia's love surrounds as we mourn and we weep, holding on to the dreams where we trust and believe. Come home to our arms, our voices call out. Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Remember your laughter, we'll carry it on. With each passing day, your spirit stays strong. In a world painted gray, we search for the light. Little Gus Lamont lost out of sight, found in the whispers of the night's gentle breeze. We pray for a miracle, a soul to appease. Oh, where can you be hidden away? Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Each minute that passes feels like an eternity. Hope flickers low in our hearts deep sea. Australia's love surrounds as we mourn and we weep, holding on to the dreams where we trust and believe. Come home to our arms, our voices call out. Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Remember your laughter, we'll carry it on. With each passing day, your spirit stays strong. Oh.
Yes. Megan, I'm with you. This case is even confusing me. Mac J, did I not just say that to you?
You did. You did. Very similar.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly the same as Lily and Jack. So, where are we going to start? I'm going to add this. So I'm going to go through, I think we'll just go through the timeline as we have it. As I said,
Yep.
there is so many parts to this. The family is a big question. Why did it take so long? Megan, I don't know. I just said to Mac, so it took 4 days for them to produce a photo of this beautiful baby. And I don't know how it would take so long. I have a 2-month-old grandson and my phone is full of photos of all my grandkids. But do you know what I mean? It's just, yep, it's one of my questions. So let's start. I've tried to get as much as I can, but we only have one photo of this beautiful little baby. Yeah, 4 days, Jody. Before they gave us a photo, and they only gave us one. I haven't seen a photo of the mother. I have the father. The father was in that little thing. And I've seen a photo of the grandmother. Oh, grandfather. Sorry. Grandfather. But anyway, let's get into it. That's the thing. Him too. Yep, I know. I'm going to be honest. People on TikTok are saying that the photo's not real. They're saying that it's AI generated. I'm not saying that. I'm just putting out what's out there and what's going around. So, but nevertheless, do you know what I mean?
Yep,
Let's pray for this beautiful little baby because we need to bring him home.
we
So let's just,
do.
in the endless summer, sun-scorched emptiness of South Australia's outback, a mystery is unfolding that has shattered hearts across the nation. 4-year-old, now this is a thing, his name's not Gus, it's August Gus Lamont, but he's called Gus. And he vanished without a trace from his grandparents' remote property near Yunta, a tiny settlement east of Adelaide, last Saturday. Well, it was on the 27th. So, what's about 2 weeks now. I have been working on this timeline for a little bit. So, here's the one
Oh, I
photo.
totally understand.
Oh, it's crazy.
I
I work and then something changes and I've got to go back and change it. And it's like, so this is
that it
beautiful.
changed again today.
Has it? I haven't looked today.
Yeah, with the press conference,
Is there
like
another
they
one?
added new stuff. I think.
Okay, I've got the press
No, the one
conference
you
from
did.
the
I
other
think you
day.
uploaded it. Oh, okay,
Is that
that's
the
from
one
the
I
other
put
day.
out
Okay.
today? Is that the one I put out
Yes.
today? Yeah, okay, that was from 3 days or
Yeah.
4 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. I must have missed it until today. Yeah.
has William vibes accident, but still the question. I know. It's William all over. That's what I'm. My heart is really heavy on this one, and I think it's because of that. I think because it is so close to William's case. And as you all know, William's one of my. He's part of me, and yeah. I've been saying it to Focus all week that it's William all over. So, Gus vanished 2
Did
weeks. Go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, did you get any info on the family, or is the press conference all we have?
I've got the press conference in here. Yeah, I'll play it in here anyway. I've got the press conference on here, but I have put the press conference on on my page. I will give it to Mac J so she can get it on hers as well. So if people just want to get to those parts, do you know what I mean? They're easy to get to in my videos, and I'm going to start updating daily. If we get reports, I'm going to put them on my videos as well. So if we're not live, you can still get them. And I'll send them to you, Mac J, so you can put them on your channel as videos too.
Awesome.
So Gus vanished now 2 weeks ago. The story is that he was playing in the front yard of his grandparents' house in some, I don't know if it's a dirt mount or a sand mount, because honestly, you look at the pictures, there is nothing out there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. So I'll go through the family first and then we'll go through the timeline of how it happened. So Gus lived with his grandparents, who is Josie Murray, and he is a transgender woman who changed a long time ago. And it does come into play. Do you know what I mean? When they brought that out, I said, what's that got to do with it? But it does come into play. So locals say that it happened a long time ago. And it's understood that Josie Murray lived with Gus's grandmother, Shannon Murray, and the child's mother, Jess. So the grandparents is Shannon Murray and Josie Murray. And then their daughter lived with them, who was Jess, and Gus's 1-year-old brother, Ronnie, also lived there. The father himself lived, I think it was 2 hours away. It was like 100 kilometers from the station where they all lived on. And he wasn't happy. By what I've heard, there was a big argument between him and the grandfather or grandmother. It was with the grandfather, like the transgender one, so with Josie. And there was heated arguments. He's made it quite clear that it was dangerous on this property for the babies, and he moved out and lives 100 kilometers away from the property. So it was about a 2-hour drive. But Josh and Jess, like both the parents, are still in a relationship. They remain as a couple, but they just don't live together. I don't know. That's all I've found out. As I said, he thought it was dangerous. It is understood that Mr. Lamont only found out that his child was missing when the police woke him up at his home hours after Gus had vanished. That gives me questions, because why was he not one of the first people they called? Do you know what I mean? Why didn't the family contact him?
Yeah, that's...
So going down to the timeline, sorry, I'm just reading it off here. And these all come from statements from the South Australia Police and some media reports. As I said, I've tried to be very careful. Grandmammy, how are you, my darling? Welcome in. I've tried to be careful, and I've tried to keep it to facts, because there is so many stories coming out. Do you mean, like, even when I pulled up today, it said that he was in Melbourne and he was a 6-year-old. So there is some stories going out and around that just aren't true. But I don't know what I put in here. I'll check. So 4-year-old Gus was last seen playing in the sand on Saturday afternoon. So is Josie the biological grandfather? Yes. Josie and... what did I say? The other one? Sorry. I've got off that page now. So the grandparents is Josie Murray, who was the grandfather, now grandmother. I don't know how they count it, but... Josie and where did I have it? Shannon. So Josie and Shannon are the grandparents, and Josie is the one that went back out to look for Gus, and then Jess and Joshua are the parents of them, and they have a little 1-year-old as well, whose name's Ronnie. And they all lived there except for the father, who lived away. So I hope that makes sense. The family timeline is really hard. So 4-year-old Gus was last seen. Is Shannon a woman or a man? No, it's Josie. That was a man, now a woman. Shannon is a woman. Does that make sense? Or have I just confused everyone? Hang on. I don't understand why a 4-year-old was left outside to play in the sand on such a big property. No, neither do I. My granddaughter's 9, and I don't even let her out to play by herself. So, but I get told I'm overprotective too. Josie is not a woman. Well, yeah. I think I have a photo of her going along. I just don't know how to. Yeah. So 4-year-old Gus last seen playing on the sand Saturday afternoon outside his family homestead, a sprawling sheep grazing station in South Australia's mid-north. Police said that when his grandmother went to find him, he was nowhere to be seen, sparking a frantic search by the family, who then called authorities to help. Ever since, multiple agencies, including aerial, water, trail bike, and mounted police, SES, and community workers have been helping. I won't be referring to Josie as a woman or grandmother or her or him. Volunteers and sniffer dogs have combed the area, and the only breakthrough so far is a single footprint found about 500 metres from the station's homestead. Police said about 100 people have been involved in the search each day, with about 70 of these on the ground. The vast station, which spans about 6,000 hectares and is scattered with blue bush and red dirt, is located about 350 kilometres north of Adelaide and about 200 kilometres east of Port Augusta. And here is why it is so, why the search has gone so far. Beautiful Jessie, welcome in, my darling. So I've tried to put a map here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but we've got, I don't know if you can. So you can see Adelaide. We can see where Yunta and where the homestead is from Adelaide. And I put Melbourne, there's Melbourne down the bottom. So can you see that, Melbourne? No.
I can just, yeah.
I don't know if they can see my cursor. Yeah. Anyway, so there's Melbourne down the bottom. You've got Adelaide, and then this is where the station was, where the red dot is. Next one. So Saturday, September 27th. Oh, you can. Okay. Gus was last seen playing in a mound of dirt with a little shovel in his hand at the front of the homestead on the remote station about 5 p.m. And this is according to the police statement. When his grandmother went to check on him 30 minutes later, but he was nowhere to be seen. Police said the family searched for about 3 hours before alerting police, who arrived at 9:30 that night. A police helicopter assisted in the search on the night using infrared cameras, but found no trace of the boy. I have questions on why it took 3 hours to call the police on this one. I have Aussie Crime to report some stole my heart in diving videos. I've seen that in the comment, in one of the comments, and I'm actually like, what is that? And I actually went and looked it up. He's an Olympic diver. So. Yes, Kitty Witty, 3 hours. That's how long it took from when they found that he wasn't there before they actually called police. It's crazy. See, when it says grandmother, we don't know who now. I know. So, going back, so 5 o'clock was when he was last seen. 5:30 was when the grandmother, sorry, I don't know which either, came out and seen that he wasn't there. They were unable to locate him, and they've started searching the property themselves. So from 5:30 till 9 o'clock, escalating the police notification arrived. They've got their 9. Yeah, about 9 o'clock, they've called the police and come in. Hang on 2 seconds. You just take just 2 seconds. I've got to answer someone.
Yeah, there's like a grandmother and then a trans grandmother. That's how I understand it. I just don't know what to say. Because YouTube.
I've got a friend who's watching and she's trying to get into the chat, and she's not a YouTuber, so she's trying to get in. Okay. Belle, hi. Thank you for watching. I'll try and see if I can help, but I can't right now. but please don't go. Listen. So everyone say hi to Belle. She's listening. She just can't come into our chat. I don't know why.
Hi, Belle.
She's a good friend of mine. So yeah. So the two grandmothers are in a relationship. Is that right? Yes. The grandfather turned grandmother and the grandmother are in a relationship. Jess and Joshua are in a relationship, but they live separate. He lives 100 kilometres away because he doesn't get on with the grandfather/grandmother. So, and he didn't think it was safe for the kids to be there. What gives me questions as well. So we've got from 5:30 till 9 o'clock where they were looking. They've then called the police. The police have come out, and until 11 o'clock, they had the volunteers, the SES, and everyone out looking. From 11 o'clock, as night fell, the police coordinated more searches, planning for the next day, the aerials and ground sweeps, reaching out to the military as well for their assistance. They search managers began plotting search coordinators and prioritizing water searches and the dams and the roads. Now, I do know that the police stopped their searches, but there was a neighbour that used to work for the SES, and he continued searching every night, him and his wife. The father did go out one night with them, but even when the police stopped, this neighbour still went out and looked. That neighbour has also come out and commented and said that he doesn't think Gus was at the property. He has been looking for like animal trails, birds of prey, things like that, and he's seen nothing. And he's an SES worker. So for people that are watching from overseas, our SES is, how would you explain it? Like search and rescue. So
Are they like the FBI?
oh, they're just not FBI. They're just like search, like they. I don't know what you call it over there, but they're out. That's Australia's like search people, and he was part of that, so he'd know what he was looking for. State emergency service, yeah. I can also say that I also know they have had an Aboriginal tracker out there. Let me look what his name was. I'll have to. I think it was Spirit Walker as well. But I'll have to find his name and I will find it because he's been doing a lot in this case as well. But he's very upset at the moment because he did do an article with the Daily Mail and they've misquoted a lot of the things that he said. So he's now refusing to speak to any media, what's really, really sad. But he has been working on this case day in and day out. And he's saying the same. He doesn't understand because he can't find any trails, anything of this little boy. Will ask more questions. There's really no predators out in the bush, maybe a dingo or a snake. But and that's the thing, there's no, do you mean if something got him, there would be some kind of, like something, and there's just nothing. It's like he just disappeared.
There's that theory that's going around that it was one of the falcons or eagles, the really big ones that's only found here.
They couldn't pick up a 4-year-old boy.
No, I don't. I agree with that, but it seems to be a theory going around in this case.
So it's unlikely someone drove by and no. There's nothing. Like in here, we show you the pictures soon, and in that video that I just played, like the one, that house, that's their property, and there's nothing around it. Like absolutely nothing. How unusual the media misrepresent. Yeah, I know. He's really heard about it too. He did put a statement out today that I found interesting at the end. I'll go and find it. and I'll show you because it's really interesting. But yeah, just vanished. So Gus was last seen at the mould of dirt with a little shovel in his hand and in the front of the homestead on the remote property about 5 p.m. According to police, when his grandmother went to check on him 30 minutes later, but he was nowhere to be seen. Police said the family searched for about 3 hours before alerting police, who arrived at 9:30 that night. It's so far out in the bush, it would be unlikely someone is driving past. Yeah, I know. And there's nothing around it. That's the thing. Like, that's what's got me. There's just nothing there. So here it is. Here's the house. So you can see the property, and you can just see there is. Do you know what I mean? If a car came near that area, you would see it. And there's been no reports of him. No one's seen anything. But yeah, and you can just see how desert it is. All these buildings here are all part of their station. So that's not neighbours or anything. That's all part of their property.
Yep. Do we know how hot it was, like, when he went missing? Like,
no, but I could look. Hang on. What was it? Because it has been hot. I know it's been hot here. But then Adelaide gets different weather to us too.
yeah. I was just wondering because depending on how hot it was out there, he wouldn't have got that far without sun what do they call it? Sunstroke or dehydration. So
no, you're right. I'm just looking to see if I can find what the weather was. September. Okay, this is telling me 16 as a max and 2 overnight. So,
okay.
How hot is Adelaide about this time of year? Yeah, Focus said it would be hotter because he used to live around. Well, he came from Adelaide. I wonder if it was 411 Guys has covered this. I'm not sure. There is a dam there, Jody. Okay, so we found a footprint 500 meters from the house, and they believe that footprint is one of Gus's. A couple of days later, they found one near a dam because they were searching the dams, but the one near the dam was ruled out that it's not Gus's. But they still think the first one that they found is. It's 19 degrees today. So, yeah. I know it's a bit cooler there. I know it's definitely not 19 degrees here. We've had like nearly, what have we been getting, 28, 29? So the police continued an extensive search using the trail bikes, the ATVs, drones to cover the 2.5 metre radius they were searching like the first night where Gus was last seen. Pager messages seeking SES volunteers initially to crews around the mid-north, and later in the day for crews based in Adelaide were sent out requesting volunteers to help with the search in Yunta. Police first alerted the public of the search when they issued a press release later in the afternoon. The release gave a description of Gus, who they had described as a Caucasian with long blonde curly hair, and said he was wearing a grey sun hat, a cobalt blue long sleeve t-shirt with a yellow Minions picture on it, and light grey pants. This is another thing that I'm upset about. There has been 2 sets of shirts given out in pictures. As far as I know, do you know what I mean? It is the long sleeve shirt, but we've also seen a short sleeve Minion shirt as well. I mean, he was 4 years old. So, and that's what I mean. There's just so much misinformation coming out about it as well. So this is a picture near one of the dams. I think this is where they found the second footprint, but it was ruled out that it wasn't Gus's. So there is dams on the property.
I just had a thought. Could they have ruled it out because it's inconclusive? Like they can't rule it either way?
I don't think it was the right size. I think it was a bigger footprint.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't say, it just said it was ruled out, but they had a tape measure on it, so I think it was just, yeah. So Monday, September 29th, police said that the water operation teams had been called in to search the dams and tanks, while mounted operation teams also joined the hunt. The Superintendent Mark Supis, the officer in charge of the York and Mid-North region, said that police believed the young lad had wandered off, which is where police were concentrating their efforts. He said that police were throwing everything we possibly can at this. No footprints. There's one. So there's one footprint that they found 500 metres from the house, and they believe that that is Gus's. But whether, this is the thing too, did that footprint come before or after Gus went missing? Because we don't know. Do you know what I mean? 500 metres, someone could have... And what I don't get is, why is there only one? Summer's case as well, we only had one. What do they think? These kids are just walking around and like pushing on one foot? Because there's no more.
Yeah.
It did look huge, Megan. I said the same to Focus. I'm like, it looks too big to be a child's. But the thing is, we don't know how close they've came in when they've taken the photo. I think I have a picture of it, but yes, it did look really big. As I said, I think the second one they found near the dam measured way too big. My 4-year-old's foot is tiny. That was a big print. Yeah, I agree with that too. How can there be no footprints if a child was wandered off? Well, I don't get, there's not even, they didn't even say there was like footprints near the sand. If he's playing in sand, there'd have to be some marks around the sand. There's nothing. Because they could have compared those footprints with the ones they found. Police said that I've read that one. So, yeah. How can there be no footprints if a child yeah. I know. Because these babies just vanish. Didn't you know? We just vanish babies in Australia. Considering how dry it is out there, there should be a lot more footprints than one, especially if he was out there playing, there would be. Yep. I agree, 100%. So he's in the house. Don't know. I don't even know if they've searched the house properly. Because that's the problem, and I think we've spoke about this before, is when they get these missing cases, they need to treat them as criminal as well, because you just don't know what's happened. Do you know what I mean? They treat it as a missing person, and then 2, 3, 4 weeks down the track, they turn around and say, oh, actually, something might have happened, and then they go back and look. I mean, it happened in William. For months, they took it as just a missing person, and now they've missed so much evidence. I'm just hoping the same thing doesn't happen in this case. But this case, and I've got to say it from my heart, and it's just in my opinion, it does remind me so much of William. I feel like we're living William Terrell again, and I think that's why a lot of people in Australia are so connected to it. Something sus has happened, and they have panicked and have decided it was a missing persons case. Yeah. They were so quick to say it was. They were. I know. I agree 100%.
It's
I mean, I
wasn't there a thing where, I don't know if it's legit or not, but I saw a video where apparently there's some background sort of, I don't know, reports. What do they call it? Child. What do they call it? Child
child
safety
safety.
report. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know. I haven't seen that. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I haven't seen that one. There is literally, there's like 4 or 5 articles coming out a day about this. So, and then you got to pick and choose which one to believe. Because as I said, I pulled one up today and it said he was 6. I just straight away just put it down. Yeah, I know. That's what I don't get. 3 hours is a long time. Like, I understand you'd be looking, but you'd still be calling the police, especially being that far out. It's horrible. Do you mean even talking about it, my heart's just going. I feel sorry for the father. He's living 100 kilometres away and has now lost. I know. And he got woken up by the police for the police to tell him. Like, if him and his wife or him and Jess are still in a relationship, why didn't she call him? Why wasn't he called straight away? I'm sorry. What am I up to? It's hard. It is. My heart hurts just thinking about it. That's why I think it's taken us so long to do this. Yes, Jody. 3 hours and it was night.
Yep.
So this is just, a lot of the pictures I have is just of the searches because, as I said, we only have one picture of Gus. But this is some of them. So a family spokesman did come out, Bill Harbison, I think, and read a statement to the media detailing how Gus's relatives were in shock and devastated by the disappearance of our beloved Gus, but hopefully of being reunited. Gus's absence is felt in all of us and we miss him more than words can express, he said. Our hearts are aching and we are holding on to hope that he will be found and returned to us safely. Now, they say that, and this is another thing that I do want to bring up, is they say that, but they don't want people on the property looking and they don't want people helping to look. So that's got to ask questions too. Like, obviously the police got out there, but they don't want volunteers. They don't want people. I've literally seen posts where they're telling people to turn around and go home and not go out there and help. Accident in the house and they drove him away. A lot of this I didn't know. I've tried to get as much of the facts, Kitty, as I can for us because, do you mean, what scares me too is there's a lot of old mines out there and, what was it, mines and there was something else. Yeah, mines and wells out there. From some of them go back as long as the gold rush days. So, do you mean if he's come across one of them and fallen into one of them, it's so scary. Yeah, I know. There's no birds. Accident. Sorry, I'm like in full theory mode tonight. That's okay, Jody. I've been asking myself all these questions for the last week. So later in the day, a footprint with a very similar boot pattern to what Gus was wearing, where he went missing, was found about 500 metres north of the homestead. Police then called in the local tracker, who they said had deep knowledge of the terrain. to help identify the path that Gus may have taken and had worked on in the property previously. Police also released the image of the Minion shirt similar to the one that Gus is wearing when he vanished. So that's the shirt that we have. And the person that they called in there is the Aboriginal tracker. So I will go to his page later because he has made a statement today that I found very interesting. The way they kept his photo from the public for so long, I thought he was a foster. Same. Because it's William all over.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, we didn't hear about this. It was, I think we were at day 3 or day 4 before we even started getting reports. Do you know what I mean? Even with William, we got told basically that day and the next day. This story was 3 and 4 days old when the reports started coming out. I don't know for people like local, but I mean for like us that are in the rest of Australia. I think it was day 3. I'm not yeah. Just trying to look at the other one that I've got to make sure I'm not missing anything. So 27th. Oh my God, here comes my cat.
Oh.
She's climbing the top part now, so she just climbs on over and comes on in. So the ground search is the 29th when the water and the dams, and the 30th is when they found the footprint. So I've got another one over here of the timeline, so I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything because I want to give you as much as I can. Go to the next one. Is that not? It's very similar to William, yes. In a few more days, the bodies will start to decay and cause... Well, they've been looking for birds of prey and there's... they're saying there's nothing. Oh, hang on. So this is the footprint, if you can see it. Do you know what I mean?
I can't quite make it out.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's like around there. But as I said, there's only one.
Oh, I can just see it now.
Yeah.
Very faint.
So that was the first one they found, and that's the one that they do believe is his. As I said, they did find a second one a couple of days later, but they've ruled that one out. Focus, please be careful what you're saying. So this is the shirt that they believe that it's similar to the one he was wearing. As I said, there is a picture of a short sleeve one, but it is definitely mentioned that he was wearing the long sleeve shirt. It does look bigger, I know. You just don't know how close they were when they were taking the photo too. So Wednesday, the 1st of October, the police revealed that they had spoken to the family about the potential to move from a search to a recovery effort, given that Gus had likely been without food or water for more than 80 hours. We always hold on to hope that he's a tough lad and he's crawled under a bush and he's still alive, but we're just preparing the family for the fact that we may be moving from a search effort to a recovery. This scared me, and I think they've done this way too quick. Do you know what I mean? I'm not South Australia police, but it was only a couple of days and they were already changing. So it just, yeah. You're right, Focus. I just don't want to get in trouble. Again, this one shows just how deserty it is out there. Do you mean it's not like he's gone behind a tree, or because there's not a lot of trees out there. And how in a half an hour, how far could a 4-year-old get? I know they're quick, but they're not that quick. The size portions of the footprint don't look like a 4-year-old. It should be skinnier. I agree. Major crime detectives also arrived on the scene, but the super scientist said there was no suggestions of anything suspicious. At any part of the search, there's an investigational process, so they're just doing their due diligence, he said. Police said there was assumptions remained that Gus had wandered off, but they had not discontinued the theory he could have been attacked by an animal. A group of 40 police cadets had also deployed to join in the search for Gus. So over here I've got October 1st, the police discussed with the family, and the major crime, yep. So here's just more of the search, again just showing the area. So Thursday, October 2nd, the Australian Defence Force also joined in the search, and the volunteers at the property deploying almost 50 personnel to help join in the search. Experienced trackers and a former neighbour of the family, Royce Player, was among those who joined efforts on the ground. They searched longer. I know they're still searching for Desi Freeman. I'm refusing to cover that case anymore because it's making me sick. But they're still searching for Desi Freeman, yet they're not prepared to keep a search open for an innocent 4-year-old.
I know, right? It's disgusting.
I know, Megan. Don't even get me started on that one because, do you know what I mean? I think take all the police off Desi Freeman's and bring them in to find this 4-year-old.
Yeah, definitely.
Attacked by animals, there'd be signs. Yep, I know, and there's nothing. And as I said, we've had this tracker who is an Aboriginal tracker, and even he said that there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's been looking for. And they've been looking for birds of prey because if something had happened, do you know what I mean? The birds would be circling. But yeah. So it's bugger, I'll do something, he said. So Thursday, October 2nd is when the Australian Defence Force got brought in. This is the neighbour that came out and spoke. Roy Player used to be neighbours with Gus's family and joined the search. So this is a neighbour who used to be part of the SES. Him and his wife have been out there. So when police went home, him and his wife continued to go out every night looking, thinking in case there was movement, in case he was moving at night or like when it was cooler, but still found nothing. I know the mother's name's Jessie. Let me look. Sorry, I had that on a different bit. I have her last name. I know the mother's name's Jessie. Just trying to see where I had it written. I don't have her last name. I do know the mother's name's Jessie, though, if that helps. So it could be the mother. No, Josie Murray is the grandfather. Shannon Murray is the grandmother. And it just, yeah, I've got Joshua Lamont, who's the same as Gus, but it doesn't actually have a name for Jessie. But her mum's name is, the family name is Murray, if that helps. Now I'm just lost where I'm at. Who's Jessie Freeman? Or Desi Freeman, is that what you're kitty witty? Desi Freeman is a man in Victoria who they went to arrest, and he shot 2 officers and injured another. And then he took off into the bush, and they have been looking for him ever since. I think it's like over a month now. They've been looking for Desi Freeman, yet they're already taken police and everything off this case. Yay! Please tell me that too, Bella. It is. Hey, my darling, welcome in.
Welcome.
I'm on Mecca's account. Okay. That's okay. I'd get away and use my kids if I could. So her name is Belle. This is one of my really good close friends. We have been friends. Our kids grew up together. She's a beautiful person. Welcome in. I'm so glad you made it in. I thought you said Jessie, not Desi. Okay. Yeah, no, it's Desi Freeman. So Peterborough restaurant owner Robert Head also travelled to Yunta with his mobile food truck to help feed the volunteers. We knew that he had the capacity to be able to help to feed the volunteers, the many volunteers that have come out here and are helping with the search for Gus. But later in the afternoon, police released the first photo of Gus for the first time. Belle, please don't be intimidated by how smart we are. You're funny, Jodie. Later in the afternoon, police, yeah. So that's when we got our first photo.
The heartbroken.
So I'm just going to, this is one of the articles I wanted us to listen to. Well, now, Belle, you've found us. We're here a lot. You can come and join us all. Don't worry, they're all as crazy as us.
Family of a boy missing in South Australia's outback for 3 nights is tonight clinging to the fading hope little Gus will be found alive. A major search near the mid-north town of Yunta is right now continuing for the 4-year-old. Police hunting for clues to determine which direction he wandered off.
A mission to find a little boy in the unforgiving outback. A race against time, but hope hasn't wavered.
Our hearts are aching and we are holding on to hope that he will be found.
Little Gus's family today asking a close friend to read a statement on their behalf.
Gus's absence is felt in all of us and we miss him more than words can express.
The 4-year-old boy last seen more than 72 hours ago now. He was in this Blue Minions t-shirt playing in the sand outside his grandparents' homestead, 42 kilometres from the small town of Yunta, when he vanished.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard time. Hard time for everybody. 4 days is hard for a 4-year-old.
Police promising to do everything possible to bring Gus home, extending the radius of their search kilometres further today on the land, in the sky and at more dams and water tanks.
Probably the biggest thing is the vastness of it. It's such a big area, and probably the frustrating thing for us is we actually haven't got a direction of travel.
It is proving to be challenging.
and there are lots of places a small child might find themselves, which would be hard for us to identify as easily as people may think. The human body's an amazing thing, and we're hoping that he's just stayed put, kept out of the sun, and last night was milder weather.
The surrounding landscape is deceptively hilly terrain, a challenge for investigators right now, desperate for clues that could point them in the direction Gus travelled and narrow down their search area. A discarded hat or a shoe could make all the difference when it comes to finding this little boy. Brenton.
Samantha Hogan, thank you for the update.
So Friday, October 3rd, the police confirmed that they had scaled back the search for the 4-year-old Gus almost a week after he disappeared. And personally, I think that was way too early. Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott said that an enormous search operation had been undertaken over the past week, but there had been no sign of Gus. Whilst we have all been hoping for a miracle, that miracle has not eventuated. And the Assistant Commissioner, Ian Parrott, said that unfortunately at no point has there been any significant evidence to give us any clues to where he may have gone. Because the footprint that's in question is the only thing that we have found. That's it. I mean, he's just so beautiful. Look at him. Those curly hair. There's no way I can't say that, but there's no way he wandered off. I know, that's the thing too, if he lived out there, he would know not to go far from the house. I mean, my grandkids know that where they're not allowed to go and where they're allowed to go. Jodie, you're thinking like me. That's the only thing I can think of, is that there's been an accident of some kind. Because I don't think animals have got him, and I don't think he's just wandered. And there's got to be something, because it's just not making sense. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. He said that the police presence at the property would be dismissed and defence personnel would be stood down on Friday afternoon, but police would continue to investigate ongoing lines of inquiry. It comes as the SA Police Senior Constable Peter Williams told the ABC radio Adelaide Police phone lines have been inundated with information since the photo of Gus was released. I do remind people that the purpose of the image going out is for anyone who's got any actual information that may assist in the investigation, he said. We just ask people, we're not after your opinions, we are after help for the investigation. Yeah, there's only one. That's all we've been given. And it took 4 days to give us one picture. Do you mean, like, I have hundreds of, as I said, my grandson's 2 months old and I have hundreds of him already. Even the other two. My phone's full of them. My kids have wandered off tonight. They're 18 and 19. I'm still not happy about it. I only have one of my children that live out of home, and she gets phone calls every morning just to check that it's my check-in, to make sure she survived the night before. Yes, I'm one of their mothers. Sunday, the 5th of October, the South Australian Police confirmed that all ground searching is formally suspended. The case has now entered investigation's long-term phase under the Major Crimes and Missing Person Volunteers, Family and Investigators search coverage questions the footprint findings and respond to speculation. Some volunteers expressed doubts about whether Gus even travelled to the property. So that's the guy from the SES. My kids are clubbing tonight and still have tracking. I can say mine are all up in bed, except for one that's in the room drawing. I don't think they're in bed, actually. They're just in their rooms. One's in playing, one's in drawing, and one's up watching her children. And the other one's out. She'll get her morning call in the morning. I get it. I'm actually going to ring mine now. But they're also adults. I was going to say, this is, do you know what I mean? We're talking about babies. They should be home. I know I wouldn't leave mine out of sight for half an hour. So here's another one I wanted to play.
You know, he pops up somewhere. But, yeah, I just pray he pops up somewhere. Someone comes across him, either way. We just couldn't find anything. Like the tracker apparently found that one footprint. Other than that, you know, there's bull dust everywhere out there. It's not just sand where the track was found, but it's bull dust everywhere. And you leave a track, and Monday night the wind got up, but yeah, I just can't figure how there's no anything. It's not going to happen. A wedge-tail will pick up a kilo or two. You know, they're not going to pick up a 4-year-old. There's no pigs, there's no wild dogs, there's no foxes. There's nothing like that, so no. You know, we didn't even see any tracks of that sort of stuff, so we were out at nights. There was no foxes.
So I just want to, this is the SES worker that I was talking about. So him and his wife, when all the police went home and all the searchers went home, him and his wife both kept going out looking for movement or anything, and they did it together. I know that Gus's father did go out one night with them, but every other night, him and his wife have gone out every night, just looking for some kind of movement or anything. So that's why I wanted to put him in, because it's important to hear.
Yapping out in the distance and stuff like that, there was nothing. So all of those are ruled out. I think we worked it out, it was about 96 hours on the actual property itself.
Do you feel like everything was looked at?
Look, they were thorough. SES and the Army and the police, they were thorough. You know, drones, aircraft, infrared, you know, that place was searched. Everywhere was searched more than once. You know, we were going over places several times. So, just in case, because we've got the lights on the vehicle that, you know, flashing orange lights and stuff like that. And we were hoping that if we didn't spot him, he'd spot us and head for a track. So then we'd be doubling back, you know, a few times through the night over every area that we went across. 48 hours max. Yeah. It's not good that we didn't. No searcher doesn't like, you know, you don't want to leave without finding them, especially a little kid. That place was gone across with a fine-tooth comb, like, you know.
I agree.
Yep, same.
I just don't get how he vanished like that. If he is on the property...
My heart goes to this guy.
It is somewhere really well hidden. You know, like the SES was doing grid patterns, and you got the police chopper up throughout the night, orbiting aircraft, drones, everything. Well, our lights go out about half a K each side of the car, so plus about a K in front. And we just crawl along first gear, 8 Ks an hour. If it was really open country, then we'd go up to about 14 kilometres an hour. You know, if there was no bushes and stuff, but other than that, we were just crawling along. And you could see for miles. You know, if he was out there, if we didn't spot him, he would have spotted us. You know, and he would have headed for the vehicle. And like I say, when we doubled back, we would have seen him then. So...
Do you think he's there?
It's been searched. He's, you know, he's not there. It was thorough. Everybody out there was, you know, they wanted to find him. My heart breaks for him, like, it was hard. So, it would be for anybody, you know, and being a little tacker. You know, all dads love their boys, you know, all the kids. So, you know, just hard. As you'd expect, he was upset. So, yeah. Yeah, look, he was thankful for everybody being there. And he's a top bloke, like he really is. He's a country boy, you know. He's what do you think any country boy would be like. He's a top bloke.
And he searched with you at night, day and night?
Yeah, he was out there. You know, it's just hard not finding him, that's all. Yeah, look, we're planning on going back out and, you know, not onto the property itself. But while we were looking at things, going around the boundaries, you know, we'll go out and still have a bit of a look around, yeah. Hopefully some of the family might be able to point us in a direction that they think he went or somewhere he might be, and we'll head out there and do what we can. You know, he's a little tacky. You don't want to leave him out there.
You all ready? Okay. So despite our very best effort...
Sorry. So I wanted to add that now he is still... Yeah, it's just unalive, just for YouTube, because they will flag my channel. They don't like the K word. It's all right, Bella, we'll teach her. So I did want to add his bit in because he is the one that, the SES worker that has been going out, and even to this day, like they've called the search off and him and his wife are still doing it. So, do you know what I mean? I give him so much respect because he's doing more than the family are doing. Jodie, I don't know. Here comes my cat again. Are you going to come through or are you just going to knock everything down? Okay. Just knocked half my lights down. So this is the press conference. This is the second one. They did do another one, but it had 2 cases in it, so I couldn't separate the 2 to get enough. But this is the second one, and this one was just on Gus. And this is when they were calling the search off. So this is the one you would have watched today, Macjo.
It's to find Gus. As you know, the search was scaled back from Friday afternoon. I might repeat some background here, but I think it's important to restate that on Tuesday of last week, medical experts advised there was little hope then for us to find Gus alive. But despite that, we continued on for 3 more days with a significant search presence till Friday afternoon. The investigation is now being managed by Missing Persons Section, which is part of Major Crime Investigation Branch, and that's where all long-term cases such as this are managed and investigated, which is standard practice. In addition to the search activity, there has been concurrent inquiries undertaken as a matter of course, as you would expect when a 4-year-old child goes missing, and those inquiries are continuing. We are actively looking to rule out every investigation opportunity at this stage. We are continuing to search the property when potential evidence is located that could be connected to Gus. So to that end, on Monday the 6th of October, a significant search was conducted around a dam about 3.5 kilometres west of the homestead after a small boot print was located. The search involved numerous resources, including star, Polair and a tracker. The print was subsequently found not to be related to Gus. And on Friday and Saturday night, a contingent of police also conducted a significant aerial search of the property using a special drone with infrared capabilities to search this large area. This is the same technology that was used in the search in Port Lincoln for the remains of Julian Story. Now, the results of that drone analysis are still being analysed. We hope to have those results in coming weeks. It's quite complex technology, so it will take a little while for that to work through. But if anything any information comes that directs us to conduct further searches in specific areas, we will be doing that in the coming weeks. As we've stated, we will never give up hope of finding Gus. There are further lines of inquiry being undertaken, and the family have continued to cooperate fully with police and have consented to every request that we have made of them thus far. This is just to emphasise to people in the community that we still have a public appeal for anyone who has any information about Gus or any concerns, but we will be continuing this investigation and highlight that you may see some other activity out there from time to time, for example, when the results of this search by the drone has been completed.
Sorry, when did the special drone fly?
Friday and Saturday nights.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Are you still looking at what it's captured?
Yes, so it's quite complex technology. It has to be analysed. It uses quite significant technology that the operator will then have to analyse and provide that information back.
Thank you.
It was very quick. She didn't want to answer many questions, did she?
No, she didn't. I find it interesting. She said further in manners of inquiry. You know,
So
like
they have gone back to the house to look for like other things. I know Jodie's thinking a lot along the lines of what I have, that there might have been an accident, but they're still just saying that he's missing. Do you mean the drones have gone up? And I have a lot of hope in drones because I've seen drones, especially in a lot of the cases that we've watched overseas. I know how good they are. But they've also said, as I just said in that, it's going to take a couple of weeks for them to get results back from these drones. And that's too long. That's a couple of weeks that Gus does not have.
agree.
Do you know what I mean? If he is somewhere, what's a couple of weeks, they will be looking for a recovery. You know, I know that kids don't last that long, but you just don't know. Hold on to him. Do you mean God could be looking after him and he could still be somewhere really badly hurt? We had that case. It wasn't so long ago. Well, it probably was. It was about a year. But remember the little boy that went missing? I think it was in New South Wales, and they found him by the drones. He was near the little water bank. I can't think of his name now. It was here in Australia, but I can't think of his name. But they found him through a drone. They searched the vehicles with sniffer. I don't know. They had dogs out there. I do know that. But I don't know if they've... Because they were treating it as a missing person and not an investigation. And this is something that I don't know if we could change it, but they really need to. Yes, it was in 2021. Yeah, they found the little boy and he was down by a water stream. And it wasn't even where they were looking, and he was close to where he went missing. But I know they found him through a drone. Yeah. I do know the drones have still been going up at night, though. They thought the parents did something. Yeah, and they found he was alive. I can't remember his name, though. Can you remember his name, Kitty Witty? My mind's gone blank. But, yeah. Here I am saying a year ago. 21 was 4 years ago. I think I live in a little dream when I say time. Okay. So, remove that one. Why can't they change it into an investigation? Well, I think that's what they're doing now, but do you know what I mean? When these cases go, and they should have learnt this from William, do you know what I mean? You really think they would learn something. Do I still have that? I think I had one. Okay, I'm going to play this one. Can't remember it all, but it was somewhere north of Sydney, yeah. Hang on, I'm going to pull another one up. This one's another one that was done on, like, one of the news reports, but it's got Gary Jubelin, you know, what we all think of him. Hang on.
Yep.
But he actually speaks on it, on this case as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I knew you'd be happy about this one. That's why I didn't put it in. It was on the Today Show.
Australian police are hoping new drone footage could hold clues in the disappearance of 4-year-old Gus Lamont. To break it all down, Gary Jubilant, the former lead detective in the William Tyrrell investigation, joins us in the studio. Gary, good morning to you. This case is so disturbing. I'm sure you've been disturbed by it, as everyone around the country has. There's no trace of Gus at this point. How does a 4-year-old just disappear?
Well, they are very rare cases such as this. Children disappearing at that age is a rare event.
Sorry, I just want to echo on what Kitty Witty just said. That's another thing. Look at Cleo. Do you know what I mean? They didn't think she was alive anymore, and she was well in a house. I know she wasn't well with the people that, not the gentleman that took her, but she was still alive, and that's what they've got to think about. No matter the country, police can act on the information given until they find, I know. But they should be looking for it. If not, they should listen to our channel and then go look. But yeah, Cleo should be a perfect example.
What police would be looking for is, has the disappearance been a result of wandering off, misadventure and getting lost? Or is there some form of intervention involved in his disappearance? It's now been over 10 days. It's a remote location. It looks, from all intents and purposes, an extremely thorough search, and they've found no clues at this stage.
So what would police be doing behind the scenes now? I mean, again, no one knows this better than you. What would police be doing?
Well, I'm heartened by the fact in the last media release by a Deputy Commissioner in South Australia Police, they said they're running other lines of inquiries concurrently with the search for the missing person.
What does that mean?
They're looking at all options. So whether it's, what they've got to establish is, has Gus disappeared through misadventure, or is there some form of intervention? Now, that human, even in that such a remote location, I would imagine they'd even consider wildlife, some involvement there. So they're looking at all options, which I think is quite... the fact that they're doing that, I think lessons perhaps learnt from the William Tyrrell investigation, where the whole focus was on finding the little boy lost. And the investigation wasn't started immediately.
So if you're looking at that case now, what would you do differently from a policing perspective than you did with William? I know it's very difficult to draw the comparisons, but what are some of the things that you would be doing right now?
I think lessons have been learnt with what happened with William. The focus was on looking for a little boy lost, and invariably that ends happily and the child's found. What I'm seeing now and what I'm reading between the lines with what South Australian Police, they're looking at the other possibilities, that there was perhaps intervention.
So it's difficult for the families involved and even for the police.
It is a difficult one, and I should say that the Commissioner or Deputy Commissioner has also come out and specifically said the family are cooperating with police in every request made of them. It is difficult. People want answers. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on the police heading up the investigation, and from what I can see, they're throwing everything they've got at the finding out what's happened.
Baffling, isn't it? Yeah,
it is, and hopefully they get answers sooner rather than later.
Indeed. Good on you, Gary. Nice to see you. Thanks so much. Jane.
Okay. That's top. Yeah, so now I want to get... just let me find this. There's one more thing I want to show. So this is, let me find him. This is Spirit Walker, and he has been working on the case. He is the tracker that I was talking about. And he's quite emotional about this case, as we all are. But he put up a post today. And he's got one here.
A 4-year-old boy disappears on a remote outback station. And now a search volunteer says he doesn't believe the boy was ever there. Gus Lamont vanished from his grandparents' property near Yunta in South Australia. Search teams spent days scouring over 1,000 kilometres of harsh desert on foot with drones, dogs, and even divers. After more than 90 hours, not a single clear sign of Gus was found, just one questionable footprint, which police have since cast doubt on. Volunteer Jason O'Connell was an SES member for 11 years and led part of the search. He says he and his partner searched day and night hoping to catch movement, but found nothing. No sounds, no tracks, not even birds of prey. His words, "I personally don't believe he's on the property." The question still remains though, where is little Gus? And what really happened out there? A 4-year-old boy disappears on a remote outback station. And
That's not the one. I just played that, but that's not the one. No. So he's been doing updates, but this is the one that I was really interested in. And it was day 13. And this was 22 hours ago. Gus update. It's time for the South Australia Police Force to take the next step in investigating little Gus's disappearance. They should bring the grandparents and the parents in for questioning about little Gus. The police must stop wasting time waiting for drone results, which will take some time. Every second counts in finding little Gus. So the South Australia Police Force must take the next step. If they don't, I will tell the truth. Tell them the truth, as I care about this little kid and no more games, even if it means putting me in jail, fighting for this little angel to be found.
What
So
does
be-
he know?
That's my question exactly. What is he going to tell us, and why does he think that they're going to throw him in jail for it? Just thought
Did
I'd
he
share.
find something?
He is a good man. He has been working every day. Like, even when they told him to go home, he's been out there searching. And exactly what Mac J just said, what does he know? What is it? I want him to speak. So I am going to be keeping my eye on that one, and I will keep you informed. I might even start putting his updates on my posts in YouTube, and I'll put them in the Facebook page as well, just so that we can all see what he reports each day. So keep an eye on on the posts. Mac J, I'll send them to you so you can check them on yours as well. So you can check either mine or Mac J's page. I will get these videos to you, and I will keep putting the news reports out because I'm going to be keeping on this case. Again, I just want to play this because it's so cute.
Oh, this one, I love it.
Bring our babies home. Australian, we need answers on both these beautiful babies. And before we go, I'm going to play this again. Ozzy has reached out to him. Yes, I have. I have reached out to Spirit Walker. I am hoping to try and get him to come on and talk to us. If not to tell us what he knows, but to at least just tell us how it's been searching for Gus. But as I said, he has been, Daily Mail mistreated him. Do you know what I mean? I know we shouldn't be surprised, but they just misdone everything that he said. And if anyone knows Aboriginals, especially the trackers, because that's what he is, he's one of their trackers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to play our little video for him again. Before we go, please pray for this baby.
In the world painted grey, we search for the light. Little Gus Lamont lost out of sight, found in the whispers of the night's gentle breeze. We pray for a miracle, a soul to appease. Oh, where can you be hidden away? Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows. beat in unison. Together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Each minute that passes feels like an eternity. Hope flickers low in our hearts deep sea. Australia's love surrounds as we mourn and we weep, holding on to the dreams where we trust and believe. Come home to our arms, our voices call out. Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in.
I just want to stop this. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get that back. This is the grandfather / grandmother. Oh. So that's the grandfather / grandmother that we were talking about.
Together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Remember your laughter, we'll carry it on. With each passing day, your spirit stays strong. In a world painted gray, we search for the light.
This is Dad.
Little Gus Lamont,
That's his dad.
lost out of sight. Found in the whispers of the night's gentle breeze. We pray for a miracle, a soul to appease. Oh, where can you be hidden away? Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Each minute that passes feels like an eternity. Hope flickers low in our hearts deep sea. Australia's love surrounds as we mourn and we weep, holding on to the dreams where we trust and believe. Come home to our arms, our voices call out. Oh, Gus, we're reaching through shadows, we roam, a beacon of hope, we'll bring you back home. Our hearts beat in unison, together we stand in faith and in love. You're never alone in this land. Remember your laughter, we'll carry it on. With each passing day, your spirit stays strong. Oh,
It's so beautiful. Well, that's about all we have tonight. Is there anything else? I think I've covered everything.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure you've covered everything, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we wake up tomorrow and there's something else.
I will keep putting them up if we find more, or as more reports come up. So keep an eye on my videos and Mac J's videos, because we will get them up there. But yeah, and we will touch on this again, I'm sure. This is not a case that's going to go away quickly. Just know it has our hearts. Yeah, go.
Yes. I was just going to say, hopefully it doesn't go on for, 14 years, like poor William.
Because we still haven't even heard about the inquest on William. I check every day. Trust me. They said to the end of the year and time's ticking away.
It is.
So thank you everyone for coming in. Replay crew, thank you so much. Please hit the like if you're in the replay crew and you come in, because we really need it. And if some of the replay crew, go and watch Mac J's. Mac J, do you want to drop your link? Actually, I've got it in my description too, so it's always in my description. But yeah, make sure you give her some views too, because MacJ needs the hours and we need to get her hours up. So they're all there. I promise to keep you as updated as I can. I am still working on the fire one in Melbourne, because that's another heartbreaking one. We heard from the father the other day, so I am still working on that one as well. I will try and get that one out next week. But, yeah, Gus has got me too. So, other than that, I will see you all next time. Thanks, everyone.
See you, everyone.
Every true crime on the rise. Investigate the scene, uncover the lies. From Melbourne to Sydney, all the way to Perth. No case too tough, we'll dig into the dirt. We'll crack the code, find the truth, bring justice to the table. No excuse, Australian legends in the game, bringing light to darkness, no shame. Just got a super chat, let's celebrate. Raise a glass for all the cases we've solved in the past. With eyes wide open, we'll never rest. Aussie true crime, we're the best. From cold cases to missing persons, we'll leave no stone unturned. Every version detected in our hearts, we'll never give up. But justice and truth will always hear us. Oh, thank you so much. Let's celebrate, raise a glass for all the cases we solved in the past. With eyes wide open, we'll never rest. Aussie true crime, we're the best. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate, raise a glass for all the cases we've solved in the past. With eyes wide open, we'll never rest. Aussie true crime, we're the best. For all the cases we've solved in the past. With eyes wide open, we'll never rest. Aussie true crime, we're the best. Let's celebrate, raise a glass for all the cases we've solved in the past. With eyes wide open, we'll never rest. Aussie true crime, we're the best. Thank you so much.